Did you know that just for $50 you can actually get a mouse that can compete with the highest of the highest rated mouse? Let's say 8,000 polling rate, very competitive shape, and even extremely lightweight. Oh, and did I mention the 8K polling rate is actually wireless and not just wired? Yep, this is that mouse that I'm talking about. The M617 from Kysona. Okay, before everything else, my name is Alan from Unfiltered Bits. Today, we will be reviewing this mouse, once again, the M617 from Kysona. Oh yeah, I actually just want to tell you guys that whenever I say Kysona in this video, I actually do mean Kysona. And this mouse is sent to me by Kysona themselves, but it will not affect this video in any way. Everything that I am about to say is from me, with no inputs from them. So yeah, let's actually proceed to the unboxing. Alright, so this is the box right here, and as what you can see, it looks very minimalistic. You can see M617 wireless gaming mouse, and on the top right you can see the 8K ultralight. On the back of the box, however, is the full specification. The sensor, everything about the polling rate, how fast can the mouse go, and the battery and everything. But let's see what's actually inside the box. Of course, we do see the mouse here, but let's focus more on what's actually included. Because the first one is actually the instruction manual, because you won't be able to use the mouse without this. Unless you're like me, that doesn't actually need it. So you can pause the video. You also get a braided cable, very soft one, very lightweight. You got the adapter for it to become an extender for the dongle. You also get some grip tapes and also an extra mouse feet. I'll talk more about that later, but here is the mouse itself and all its wonders. Now, let me actually get into the most asked question about this mouse. How is the 8,000 polling rate? Because that's kind of the selling factor of this mouse. It's so budget friendly for an 8K mouse. And what's kind of like, what's the catch? Well, the 8K actually only works on wireless for this mouse. It goes up to 2000 kHz when you have it plugged into your PC directly, via wire of course, and it does 133 on Bluetooth mode. I think those are really good options. Majority of the people buying this mouse anyway will be using it in wireless. Now, does it work? Alright, so the mouse is being tested on a laptop via the Razer polling rate tester, and I have the mouse selected while also setting the graph scale to 8000. Now, why am I not using my main machine for this one? It's just so some people don't actually think that I'm just making some editing magic here, so I decided to actually do the testing on a lower range laptop. And also, it shows that the mouse works fine and well, even on low-end machines. It is working great, but numbers are just numbers. How is it actually when using the mouse? Now, what I have noticed is that because it is using the PAW3395 sensor, it tracks extremely well. Never spun out, and it never did something weird. Everything was so great, except maybe my aim. Once again, this is Alan from the future, and I just want to explain real quick that I did my testing on all ranges of polling rate, hertz, whatsoever, from 8,000 to 4,000 to 2,000 to 1,000 and even up to 500. Personally, I did stick with 500 after all my testing because that's where I think my aim goes best with responsiveness. Pro players, some of them still do 500 polling rate because they feel like it's responsive enough, but not so responsive that if they suddenly twitch while holding an angle, they would miss. So that's kind of like a quick explanation. Now, if you really want that 8000, it does work in games, but just make sure that you have a powerful enough PC. Oh, and yeah, just to let you know, not all games properly support 8K, so you would probably have some games that would lag when you use the 8K options. Now, be wary of that, and there are games like Valorant that has raw input buffer, which naturally can use 8K properly without making your PC go boom. Okay, but let's take a pause talking about the sensor, how well it is, how good is the 8K polling rate. But let's focus now about the shape, because you cannot really use that sensor in the most optimal way if your hands are not really fit to handle the shape of the M617. My last mouse, last daily driver, was very similar to Pulsar X2, and I easily switched to this mouse, which is a much more neutral shaped mouse, much more relaxed. This is actually a mix of two very high-end mouse, the Asus ROG Harp Ace. It's pretty neutral with a long hump in the back, but imagine this mouse when it's combined or mixed with the Logitech G Pro Superlight shape. It's kind of like that. It's a very interesting shape, a very neutral one. This mouse is actually considered 57 grams. Like, it is actually considered that. Now, that is plus or minus 2 grams, but it is around that weight. It is actually pretty light. Now, let me just say this. It is kind of in the front heavy. It's not super neutral, but when you are actually playing with it, it feels like you are guiding it from the front, which is actually pretty good. Now, speaking of gliding, this mouse came with black feet. Now, we all know what happens to those black feet. They get replaced. So if you're wondering why my mouse has a different skates, I did replace them. Although those are good and they actually come with backups, I just won't use them. I'm already used to this dot skates, so I replace all my mouse with it. But I did play some of those clips that you've seen earlier with the black skates, but it's just not as smooth. It's a little rougher compared to what I'm used to with this white PTFE dot skates. But now what about the clicking? Because the clicks are also pretty interesting in this mouse. Called the Clear Purple Shell White Dot Micro Switch, which is a collaboration between Valo and Kysona. So it's kind of like their own clicks. It's pretty similar to majority of the mouse out there. These ones are quieter. They're still pretty tactile. You can feel them, you can hear them. They're still pretty satisfying. But they're not as snappy sounding. They're not as clicky sounding. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the clicks for the other buttons, not just the left and right. They're pretty good. Now when it comes to the scroll wheel, that one's a little weird because it's not my type, but some people like it. It's like very specific. When you do a step, you can actually feel it and hear it. I like a much more smoother one because I play games such as Valorant and CSGO, wherein bunny hopping is a thing. So I like to not feel it so much, just enough that I know. But these ones, you can actually feel them. Let's actually talk about how long the mouse can last. Because right now, I haven't really properly charged the mouse. As you've probably noticed, I have my magnet charger puck installed in the mouse, so I can just like use this cable again and then like just do boop. It's now charging. And then boop, it's not charging anymore. So I like doing that because I don't want to be someone that just depends on me remembering it to be charged. I kind of just put it on from time to time. I haven't had any issues with the battery yet. I think I haven't charged it for like 3 days, or at least I probably did a micro charge for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And so far there's, no problem with it. No battery something or whatsoever. So I think the battery is pretty good. It has 500 milliamps of battery stated on the website. What about the quality? The quality is actually pretty good as well. I'm not lying, but everything that I am saying is of how I feel about the mouse. The mouse doesn't do any weird noise if you try to twist it or hold it pretty bad. And it does come with these grip tapes, and I do like to install them. They make the mouse look much more unique, and they feel normal, just like with any grip tapes that comes with any mouse. And I like the normal finish on this, actually, on this plastic shell of the mouse. But everything else, no creaking, no nothing, solid mouse. But yeah, that is practically everything about the mouse. The mouse is great, the mouse is nice, and I think for just 50 USD, it's a pretty good budget-friendly 8K mouse if you really want that 8K. Now, of course, if you don't want that 8K, they have the M600 mouse as well, which I might be doing a review soon. But this is the only mouse, I think, at least as of the moment of recording this video, you can buy with 8K polling rate on wireless for under $50. The next one on the list is like $40, the Viper 8K wired, but it's wired. And then you got the Viper V3 Pro, which has 8K on wireless, but costs 170 USD. So I think this mouse right now in the market is unbelievably priced. But if you guys do know any other mouse that you want me to check out that is comparable to this, then hit me up in the comment section below. But yeah, this is where I will be ending the video. If you do want more tech review stuff, just follow me and subscribe on this YouTube channel, Unfiltered Bits, also on all other social medias. And if you do want to keep up with me personally, you can go and follow all my other socials at Alen Avila11. Mostly stream on Twitch, post TikTok contents, YouTube, and all those sort of things. Anyway, that is it for me. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.